Hey everyone, it's George from Blockchain DXB, and today I have a really interesting artist who's all the way from Lithuania called Thomas. Now, in this podcast, what I really like about him is his passion for art and NFTs. Surprisingly, his technical information on virtual reality headset is absolutely phenomenal. So when you're listening to this podcast, what I really want you to focus on the technical elements that he's saying, touching certain points of virtual reality headsets, also his experience in NFTs. And he also shared his experience in a couple of challenges and struggles that he faced. During this podcast, what I realized is despite a couple of challenges and struggles, that has only motivated him. He's coming up with new projects one after the other. And during the podcast, he was trying to explain to me about a gaming experience. The way he explains things, it's really unique. And if you're listening to this podcast, pay a lot of attention to the gaming experience that he's mentioning. I literally felt that I was actually playing the game. And he's also visiting Dubai. So if you're an investor, if you're a fellow artist, or have an NFT marketplace, do get in touch with Thomas. All of his details is in the show notes below. So firstly, Thomas, thank you so very much for taking your time. Really appreciate you talking to me and sharing your knowledge, your passion in art, NFTs, and virtual reality as well. So how has your day been so far?
Well, thank you very much for having me. I really like your enthusiasm. It looks like we're going to have a nice chat today.
Absolutely.
Right. So the day is grim. I'm sure you're having a swell sunny day, and we're here ready to get ready for autumn, ready for winter, ready for the cold times. But I'm not letting it get me down. I really love mushrooming. So when it rains a little bit, when it's grim, you know that the next day when you go to the forest, you can have some bolitses lying around. So I'm really into that. So and just. And about like my kind of works and things, if you wanted to ask that, it's hard, man. A lot of projects. You need to get some straws. I need to have like I need to have my hands in a lot of different baskets just so that I know that if something doesn't work, I already have some backup plans or whatever. So it's stressful. It's stressful, but I mean, this is I really committed of being here in the cutting edge technologies, right? And this is the price you have to pay for it, right? You have to always be learning, always have to be failing, always have to be succeeding. And it's a high stress life, but of course it's rewarding. I get to show up and talk about it in the podcast.
Absolutely. And I did go through your LinkedIn post 2 days ago, and you mentioned that you haven't slept for 2 days as well because you're busy with an event as well, right?
No, well, I mean, it was not like that. I was just kind of being ironic on LinkedIn. I'm not really a fan of it, but just that I've been me and basically our Zen Republic team, we organized a workation. It didn't really go as good as we had hoped, because thing is, I've been to Berlin like a month ago or something. I've been to Berlin and I went to a co-working experience. It's Solana. If you know Solana blockchain, we had Solana blockchain. Co-working experience, kind of co-working place, right, where people just do their own things. I really got inspired then, and I thought like we need to bring this to Lithuania, right, because the vibes there are immaculate, right? Just a lot of founders, maybe one, maybe two guys, a team, right? They just come in here, share knowledge, talk about NFTs, Web3s, just everything off their heads, right? And you just learn a whole lot more by talking instead of just writing, doing, right? Because you just kind of get all the information. You don't need to learn it, you're just being told. And they hope to be very entertaining, right? So the conversation flows. So it's a much better way, I feel like, of learning. And so I really wanted to recreate this in Lithuania. But the problem is that the NFT culture is non-existent here. Like, I mean, I would say, let's say 1 out of 100 people have a wallet. Even that might be a stretch.
Which is a bit strange because your neighboring country, that is Estonia, they are one of the pioneers and leaders so far as, blockchain technologies.
It's true. It's true. So and even like Lithuania, we have like the best tech guys. We're getting paid a lot, working abroad, doing like the programming things. We're about a smart IT tech oriented nation. So it just boggles my mind that nothing is happening in this front. So we're just kind of taking it for ourselves to just kind of hold the flag and try to bring this thing forward, because I've been looking around for like a year trying to get some context, and just nothing was happening. So we got together and organized a workation in a very kind of chill city in Lithuania. And it was like a 4-day long workation where we were supposed to kind of like share knowledge, do whatever things. But the people we got together, they weren't really what we were looking for, right? We tried to promote it, say Web3, NFTs, if you're interested, go here. but they just essentially kind of took it like, I'm just going to do my own thing, work in something else, AI, whatever, something innovative, do my own thing. So we didn't really hit it off. And it felt like it's kind of a colossal waste of time. It just, I mean, like, I didn't even get rested because we had like to do some like doing some games, doing some fun, going for a walk, right, for a hike, just trying to get some conversation going, right? And this didn't really happen. We didn't really connect a lot much, and I didn't really even get rested. So it just kind of, I just spent like 3-4 days being away from the metaverse, from the Twitters, from the Discords, and didn't really kind of achieve anything. So, but still, I feel like these things are kind of necessary. We still need to kind of do those events, get together, and try to push this agenda forward. So.
Absolutely, and hopefully,
and
hopefully, when you come to Dubai, the experience does turn out to be much better as well. Probably when you're later on in the month.
Well, I hope so. I can't keep on losing, man.
Absolutely, yeah. Now, before we start, Thomas, can you tell our listeners a bit about yourself in terms of, how did you get involved in the NFT space, your experience in art, your blockchain cryptocurrencies, and how did you go ahead and start with everything?
Right. Well, essentially, just kind of to I didn't really start off with NFTs. I started off just when I finished up my studies of computer science. Just right there when I finished it, I was already very passionate. I've been like working for like 2 years on VR, making VR games, because I knew that if I didn't just work on my own something, then in computer science university, I will not really understand. I will not really learn much. It was like most of the theory. So I just kind of did my homework for the university, and I just spent my time kind of learning VR and things. So just when I finished it, I started a company called Zen Republic, and we were basically VR entertainment studio. But thing is, like after a year, we made a game. We had some things. We had some kind of we set ourselves up as a VR entertainment studio. But then I was really starting to then I found out about NFTs from kind of different NFT artists I followed on Instagram, right? And when I just kind of saw it and started to research it, it took me, I don't know, like a couple of minutes to just click in my mind, like it's not art. This NFT is not art. I've been playing lots of RuneScape, Team Fortress, Counter-Strike. I've been playing so many different games where you just basically like earn things, right? There's like global economics. I actually even made money selling, if you know Team Fortress 2, I made money selling hats, like with special effects for money, right? And I just knew that those items have their history, right? Or somebody has owned it. And whenever I saw an NFT with like its history of who minted it, where it changes hands, I immediately saw this is not art. This is just anything. This is anything that people can make up. So I just immediately, my mind just started spinning, thinking that I need to jump into like this kind of utility side of NFTs, some kind of gamified, getting advantages for something, maybe some game items or something like that. So I just kind of, I saw that the VR adoption is kind of being stalled right now. Like it didn't really pop up just the way I planned, right? I thought like VR was going to be booming much quicker. So I just kind of decided to just take a route of NFTs and just keep the VR as kind of like, we are doing VR things, right? But NFTs, if you're buying NFTs doing this, you're contributing to us doing VR in the future. So that's basically what I started doing. I started kind of spreading the buzzwords around Lithuania, saying, hey, I do NFTs, I do crypto, to start getting some investments to actually build something. So this is basically how I got in, and I never stopped kind of learning from that, just building, doing different things. And I've now, after a year of really researching, developing, I also wanted to say that I feel like that I learned so much just because I wasn't just kind of researching. I started like as like a company business. It was already like when I just found out, it was not like I'm just gonna do research for like a year and see how this works. I immediately thought I'm just gonna build something right now, and then I'm gonna kind of become better just in this, or immediately like doing this as kind of a business without really knowing much anything. So it really got me like in a year just now know so much. I'm like truly, I feel like a professional just because I was really getting into it every day, trying to learn and do an NFT things. So, but I still in the core, I'm VR developer, VR games developer. I've been developing for like 6 years now. Of course, this year has been kind of a break for me from VR development, but I can't wait to get in. And one thing that I really want to achieve in Dubai, I really want to go and find some funding opportunities for a very crazy thing that I've got in mind, that I've been preaching lately.
Absolutely. As long as the crazier it gets, Dubai is the place, because it is the place where dream comes true, and it comes much bigger and faster as well. I personally think that the fact that, you've got a strong VR experience And I'm not sure if you're going to be here by the 28th or 29th of September. There is a massive event called as arranged by the Metaverse Assembly. So
I'm actually coming here on 29th of September. So
okay. What you can do is maybe on the 28th, you can watch the session live. And there might be areas of opportunity for you to connect and maybe network.
But actually, just wanted to kind of go a little bit off topic. Yeah. I feel like throwing metaverse around, it just creates such a big dissonance between the tech world and everybody else. Like people just come up to me and say, "So how do I join the metaverse?" And if I say that actually there's no metaverse right now, then people say, "Oh, it's just a scam, right?" NFTs are scam because metaverse doesn't even exist. But you're just kind of missing a point, right? I feel like the platforms being built, like the Facebook Horizon, VR Chat, whatever else, those are virtual worlds. Like virtual, and if you are able to connect from one place to another, maybe through NFTs, through VR, like some link, right? Some Silk Road.
Absolutely, yeah.
Then you get a metaverse, right?
Yeah.
But the problem is that virtual worlds, right, doesn't sound so buzzwordy. It's not really. If you say I'm building a virtual world, like everybody's building a virtual world. But if you say I'm building metaverse, then wow, this is something I need to pour money in. It's basically lying, right? Basically lying. But I mean, like not really, because you're kind of building part of the metaverse, not exactly lying, but just throwing this buzzword on so that you're getting more attention to.
And I have a podcast called Metaverse Everything, and I do think what you're saying is absolutely right. I do think probably in the next 8 to 10 years is when we're going to start seeing the real use case of metaverse. So absolutely nothing, at least for the next 3 to 5 years. So 100% agree, totally agree on that. My quick question is, when you try to research on yourself, by yourself, was there any particular person that you spoke to, or did you just all go hands in by yourself when working on your business?
If you are you talking about NFT part, right?
Yeah.
Well, I didn't really have a person I could rely on, but I think the most important research, which really got me to understand NFTs, is essentially Discord. I feel like Discord is currently what is metaverse. Discord is text-based metaverse. You have like the bubbles on the side, right? Everybody can have a different server. You can do whatever healthcare service. You can do veterinary community. Everybody lives on Discord, and you can just kind of go from one server to another. You can have like different bots do different things. So I feel like right now it's just like how internet was in the 90s or 80s, right? You have to go into internet through the console logs, right? The same things happen right now with metaverse in Discord, I feel like. So what I feel like really got me to understand a lot is just essentially getting an NFT and going to a server, verifying myself as the owner, right? So I'm getting the access to the channels, and I'm just kind of talking, being in this inner circle, seeing what announcements are being made. So I have invested, right, into a community, right? I made an investment, and I care about it, right? I care about if the computer project is doing good or not, right?
Absolutely.
So I'm just kind of following, seeing what announcements are happening, how people are contributing, how everything is kind of working from inside, right? And of course, just from the kind of developer part, I've just joined some Discord servers where there's some passionate people who just share knowledge left and right. Everybody helps everybody else. So this is just how I got on the tech part. Same, all on Discord essentially. So I feel like it's being kind of slept on still resource. People still kind of going to Stack Overflows, doing everything. But of course, YouTube tutorials are also, you cannot beat YouTube tutorials. Free resources are always the best.
Absolutely, totally agree. And for me personally, I also have another podcast which talks about obstacle course race. So I'm not sure if you've heard of Spartan Race and Tough Mudder. So as part of that, which is more to do with fitness, I'm also planning to release 7 NFTs. So, these NFTs will be utility-based NFTs, and, whoever owns these NFTs will be getting access to a couple of free tickets and quite a lot more. And, one thing which you did mention at the beginning as well, regarding the challenges that you face. So can you explore a bit more? So what are some of the challenges that you faced, when you try to find out about NFTs and when you try to follow something that you really wanted to do?
Well, just learning about NFTs, I don't really, I still don't really understand kind of these optimistic roll-ups, Ziki roll-ups, like these things that people are talking about, right? Like kind of I'm not really familiar about the part of it, just kind of as NFTs being like part of the stock market, right? People saying, "Oh, everything the line is going here, so it's all diluted here." To blah, blah, blah. But I don't really follow that. And I feel like this is I do kind of think of it as kind of like my shortcoming. I can't really follow a conversation talking about like the stock and kind of the bull bear markets of the whole thing. But I try to think of it as like these smart people who are doing like the behind the scene things, right? Like imagine like hardware the engineers, right? They're making the computers, they're wiring everything up. And I consider myself like a software engineer. I use those things to make some entertainment, something happen with them. So so essentially, I don't really care about like all the saying things. Oh, Solana blockchain is this and that. Oh, better this XMX blockchain. I don't care about what's better. I only care where people are and what kind of entertainment or what kind of utility they want. So I just kind of try to use that. But we had lost so many difficult parts of just. I'm still having difficulties. It's still very, very hard. It's still everything changes like every day. But the hardest thing I feel like is just kind of getting a community together, because this is the essential part of like any NFT project. You can have like you can do whatever product you want, product, service, or whatever. It doesn't matter. It all starts from the community. And I'm doing like different things, trying to experiment, try to grow the community, and I am kind of successful in that. We have like, let's say 20, 30 of active members that I don't know, but they're just kind of showing up because they really like being here. And the thing is that we're not really good at reaching new people, but we are good at keeping those people engaged in our core family. So it's still a very hard kind of road trying to see what people want, what do people care about, why they want to stay here. And I'm still on this journey of figuring it out. But yeah, I would say this is kind of the most challenging thing because what I realized not too long ago is that we cannot, like most of the servers, right? What they do is essentially all of them are kind of like Ponzi schemes, pumps and dumps, right? Thing is that they say, okay, you have this NFT, right? Now every day you're gonna get some tokens. So what you do right now is just go raid market, right, and get more people in, so that you are at the top of the pyramid and you can get more money, right?
Then you rug pull the project,
I mean, you could rug pull, you could not rug pull, but just doing this, thinking about it in these terms, right? It's already kind of like a pyramid scheme, a Ponzi scheme. I would also like to maybe discuss. I don't think pyramid schemes are all that bad. I feel like pyramid schemes are just how nature works. All the governmental pyramid schemes in nature, right? Monkeys. If you have a big monkey, strong monkey, they have with a lot of bananas. It's a natural hierarchy of a pyramid scheme. But still, I feel like there needs to be smarter models. I think decentralization, these NFTs can bring something new instead of just like simple Ponzi schemes, right? But this is exactly what I'm kind of trying to figure out and try to get away from this unsustainable method of just kind of hyping, trying to get your project noticed for what? For people to come in, and what do you do with them? You just kind of say, hey, GM, right? GM, why do I need to have a lot of people in my community, right? How do I benefit them? And how are they gonna benefit each other?
Absolutely,
so this is the most important thing, which can make something sustainable. So I've been doing like these raids. People are still asking like, where are the raids, right? These people are, why is the server dead? Why is this? And I just think that it wouldn't matter if we do raids. We're just gonna stay on the same level as anybody else, just trying to be the coolest, shitty promoting project, right? So this is what I'm trying to do. I'm doing in real life events, trying to get really high quality people, try to offer them some things that they can stay and they feel as our community some home where they can maybe find collabs, find people, find resources from which they can learn things, right? So I feel like only then can community be sustainable if we don't need to pour money into them for them to stay in.
Yep.
So essentially, right now, like one of the other parts of why I'm coming to Dubai, what kind of contacts I really want to set up is with artists. It can be Web3 artists or Web2 artists who want to enter this space, right? So I feel like I really want to kind of to help them out. Maybe Web2 artists, I can definitely help them out, mint out their collections, right? I can tell them we have like a shop. We have a shop of NFTs in our Discord. You can just buy NFTs from a Discord channel without going anywhere else. Just being
directly from the Discord channel itself.
Yes. So basically, I'm just trying to get this thing going. Of basically, we're helping Some artists mint out a collection. They give us some of the NFTs for our community members to buy with our local currency as their promotional. They get some promotion, right? They get some holders, and we get some NFTs in our shop without needing to pay anything. So we could have like this kind of symbiotic relationship. Artists then collab with other artists. Maybe artists then buy each other's NFTs from our community, and we can just kind of build this social circle. And I think that a world can only be built if you have creative people. If you have artists as a base, then they can become influencers themselves, and they know their roots. They're coming in from Zen Republic. So when they start branching out, creating their own influence, their own NFT collections that we help them out, right? They start their own projects. They can bring their influence, and it all stems from Zen Republic, which is kind of the hangout place for all the influencers for everybody else. So I feel like it's the most important thing to try to get a community of people who are doing their own thing, and they want to create their own audience. This is kind of the path I really want to take. Is just try to get creative, artistic people into our community and try to offer them this help with NFTs, education, so that we can just kind of thrive like this without needing to just kind of do raids and just do shitty promotions all over the place.
Totally agree. And one thing which I like what you said at the beginning of the session is that, you don't like looking at charts and graphs. I 100% agree. And one thing which I always tell my clients, all the predictions with reference to price are 100% right, 50% of the time. So, the whole idea is, making sure that someone benefits. I think that is what is critical rather than, looking at charts and graphs and making sure someone mutually benefits. The other suggestion what I could say is, when you visit Dubai, there is another Emirates called as Sharjah that is, booming so far as arts is concerned. So, United Arab Emirates, they have 7 different Emirates. One of them is Sharjah, which is quite nearby, less than 45 minutes to travel. And there are a couple of really beautiful places. One thing which I would recommend you to go is a place called Al Seef. And this is nothing to do with NFT, purely from an art point of view. I definitely think, that is something you would definitely enjoy.
Al Seef?
Al Seef, yeah. It is the place, where the locals grew up, or the sheikh grew up. It's a very unique place. And even the Starbucks over there, that's the only Starbucks in the whole world which has a completely unique design. Something, going back to maybe a couple of 100 years ago. So really, really artistic and very, very
I'll see if I have time. I'm only coming in for a couple of days, so it's going to be like all business, but I'll see if I have a moment to have some recreation as well.
Absolutely. And I wanted to ask you, Thomas, can you tell our listeners about what is Zen Republic? And where did the idea to Zen Republic generate? What is the main motivation to start that?
Right. Well, I can start off like this. I've been a huge fan of Dragon Ball, Harry Potter, these kind of the franchises of like fantasy worlds.
Yep.
And I from the start I imagined the metaverse as like different worlds coming in together. So essentially, what I started saying that Zen Republic is a world that I want to create as like part of the metaverse, where people could go from one to ours. So I'm looking forward, creating our own fantasy kind of world like this. Yeah. Maybe it can scale up to some sort of MMO, macroeconomic kind of experience game platform. So essentially, Zen Republic is a faraway universe that is. It consists of a sun and 7 planets orbiting around it. It's like a solar system. It's a solar system, and thing is, those planets have been like fighting over who controls the sun for countless years, because some of those planets are inhabited by different aliens, so Rubians, Topazis, Emirians, and Saphirians. So like from the expensive stones, right? Ruby, the topaz, emerald, sapphire. So these are they have their different planets, and they're living together on the same solar system, and they're trying to control who is the alpha, who controls the sun, all the energy, all the energy to power the whole kind of their planets, and maybe sell to other planets. Yeah. So, but the thing is that after wars, they decided that it's no use. There's enough sun for everybody in the solar system. There's enough power for everybody to live together in peace. So they just kind of formed the first ever solar system-wide union called Zen Republic. So it's like European Union would be from Europe. It's like Zen Republic is a solar system that lives together in peace. They're sharing the sun, they're sharing the energy, and they're doing their own thing. So, and I really want to kind of tell the story through VR games. This is how I kind of started. I was thinking that I want to create VR games, but what kind? Like what do I do, right? So I was just kind of thinking it's like lore based, right? And different games just give a kind of a piece of the world, right? So and essentially I would like to have like this kind of a place, like handle place. I know that in the future, right, instead of going from the web pages, we will go through the virtual worlds. Like, right, where do we want to go? So I really want to get some kind of main world of Zen Republic, like maybe the Sun core as like kind of the separate kind of place, our website, from where people can come in, they can see everybody, all the games that we have, and from just kind of, instead of visiting the website, they're visiting the headquarters, right?
Got it.
And then just kind of can see the different games that we have, the different NFTs that we're selling, the different kind of merch, maybe some hangout spaces, maybe the event places where events are being held place, right? So this is kind of what we're kind of planning on doing. It's just kind of some fantasy world powered by VR games of this from the same kind of vision. It's not just separate games. That one is about tennis, the other is about killing zombies, right? Yeah. So I really want all the games to just kind of make sense together.
So it is still work in progress. So can you give us an indication, let's say, once it is ready, will it be ready on a virtual reality headset or not thought about that yet? Any
right. Well,
headset that will be required?
Right. Well, we actually have already something built. We have a game called Road and People Origins. It's a VR escape room, multiplayer VR escape room, where 4 people from any place in the world can just get together, and it's like a 1 hour long experience. They try to escape the prison and try to find out why they were incarcerated in the first place. It's kind of like a mystery comedy, an action kind of escape room, which is I wouldn't call it a success, but some big YouTubers did a gameplay, got some views. It's pretty cool, I guess. And so, and after that, we created. I mean, like it's never this thing is never created, right? So because it's playable, but it's not currently under active development. But
it's a work in progress kind of thing.
Essentially, but this thing is gonna be always in progress because I'm not talking about the Road and People. The other thing is called Zen Republic HQ. Essentially, this is what I've been talking about, right? The kind of the website, which is going to be our virtual world. This is what I started building, a kind of a meeting place for our citizens to together to meet. So it's available both for VR, it's all on the standalone, on the computer, and also on PC. So people with PC can also join in the same world and just walk around with mouse and with the arrows. So you can just have the same kind of place. So we held some events there. We got some people to just kind of come in through VR headsets. We just have some talks. We have some slides, show some videos. So there's some things there. But I mean, then what happened that we got some unlikely investment from some Lithuanian company. And then we started doing the NFTs together with the VR game. So we kind of dropped it, and now I really cannot come back to it because now it's using some old networking system, which now I know how to do the newer one, and I can't really go back and fix it because there's so much thing to rework, and I cannot work on an old one because I feel like I don't want to work on legacy networking system. So it's kind of like here up in the clouds, which I should kind of fix and make better, but I have to find time because of all the different, as I said, different projects like NFTs, things that. But I'm definitely gonna do it. Go back and fix it because I have this image, right, of just being able to go from the web to this world and have all the different things working there. So
and currently, Thomas, are you working on any NFT project as well? Or
of course, yes, of course. This is we're launching an NFT collection in like a week, and we are trying to take a different approach of minting NFTs. So the thing is, we have some collections. So the first collection we minted like I would say maybe it's been actually quite a while. It's been like 4 or 5 months ago. We minted the first collection, which didn't mint out. It was a failed mint because, well, of course there were many reasons, but the fact that we minted the Solana, right, and the Solana went from 100 to 50, and this was the time when we minted. We had like all this roadmap, all the roadmap that we were minting there. Everything was set up, right? All the investors said we cannot delay any longer. We need to mint right now. So we just had to mint at the crash, and we didn't mint out. We minted out from 720. We minted out only 180 NFTs.
6 months down the line, the price of Solana was huge, and it just started to go down at that point of time. Right?
Yes, just when we kind of went mint, and then it just crashed at this point. We just kind of everything just went to the same point of destruction. But anyway, but we did actually pretty well. We did kind of rebound, as in I switched the plot a little bit with that. So the first collection was Rubians. So now we're kind of, Zen Republic is in season 1. We're exploring the Ruby planet, right? The first planet with 720 Rubians. And like essentially, as we go on with other seasons, we're introducing the new planets, right? So the first season, the Ruby planet, as we didn't sell out, I kind of changed the narrative. I changed the narrative to, it was a terrible disaster. This solar flare has decimated the whole Ruby planet, and only 180 Rubians survived the solar flash. So essentially, we had in Discord, those who verified themselves as the survivors, right, as the Rubians, who hold the Rubians, they have a separate channel called Rubian Survivor Bunker. So essentially, they're kind of the survivors who just come in and they want to rebuild right now. They're working together to rebuild, and we're gonna rebuild the 720 collection a little bit later, maybe in November, in December, something like that. So which we'll try to relaunch, and those who own the 180, they're gonna get the free ones as we relaunch the collection. Right, and right now we're kind of we're doing a different collection. It's like a DLC to Ruby Planet. It's called Zencyclopedia. So like encyclopedia, what with a Z? Zen.
Okay, yeah, interesting name.
Right. So we have this is a Zencyclopedia, and essentially it's a sacred book. It's a sacred book of knowledge of different planets. So what we're building right now is a WebGL app. Like the kind of the web app, right? When you go to the website and it loads as a game, right? You don't need to download like kind of web app, right? That we build with Unity, the game engine Unity. So. Right, so we're building this thing right now, and in this WebGL app, we have Zencyclopedia as a kind of the book. Maybe I can show you some visuals. I don't know if I can share the screen.
Is that there on the website as well? Because I do briefly remember checking.
It's not on the website. Only those who are in our Discord server know about its existence.
Got it. Yeah.
But we still need to fix some things before we can launch it live. It does work. But it just needs some a bit more just bug fixing and stuff like that, so before we're confident we can launch it. But we're definitely going to launch it just before launching the collection. So thing is, what's going to happen with this collection? So it's kind of like an interactive collectible experience where you have a sacred book of Zencyclopedia, and you just kind of go through the pages, right? And essentially, Zencyclopedia, we're hinting the chapter 1. So it's like chapter 1 Ruby Planet. So we meet the Rubians, the people, and now we're introducing the chapter 1 of what kind of the nature is about in Ruby Planet. So it's like a collection of 42 different images, 14 animals, 12 plants, 8 mushrooms, and 8 artifacts. And essentially just kind of like collect them all. When you go to the WebGL app, if you don't have it, it's a question mark, right? This kind of the image, and if you have it, it shows like as the collectible that you've got. Maybe you got some animal, right? You can press on it, you read the description, and you're kind of collecting the whole collection with this. So it's kind of like, like from old school, kind of like you're chewing the bubble gum, right? And you have like the sticker that you can put it up on a sticker kind of book, and you collect the whole kind of collection. So it's kind of a DLC to just kind of get more lore going, get more things to collect, be able to give some giveaways, try to kind of give those kind of NFTs as from doing something in our Discord server, right? So we're just kind of trying to bond and get people to want to collect our collection of these encyclopedia dates. And so what we're doing different with this collection is I really want to do it a little bit differently than it's been done before. So the thing is, we're not doing whitelisting. I know the whitelisting is the way, right, to get people to say, oh, I'm giving whitelists away, so you join in, you get winning something, right? You're able to mint, right? Which I think is kind of a scam. It was like, it had like this perspective of being innovative, right? You need to FOMO, right? If you're missing out, you need to get a whitelist so that you can mint, or else you're not going to make all those gains, right? But now everybody knows it's like a fake. Everybody just saying, oh, we're doing giveaway, we're giving out 50 whitelists. Nobody cares, right, about those whitelists anymore. So what we're doing right now is we're taking it a bit different. Oh, of course, one more thing. Like, we really want to get over the stigma of having to sell out in 24 hours, right? So like Magic Eden, how it does it, right? You just make a collection, you have to hype it up big time. You have to hype it up, and when you press mint, right? When you launch it, it has to go fully mint out in just a couple hours. That it shows that you're popular, right? Which I think is kind of also a bad way of doing things, since it just kind of promotes this pump and dump, right? You all that you work on until the mint is marketing and hyping, and when you mint out, you say, "Yep, cool. Now we need half a year to build something, maybe. So yeah, you guys hang in there." And people start dumping, right? Because they see there's nothing really that was worth hyping for. So what we're going to be doing, we're making our own storefront. So we're only going to be able to mint from our site. And what we're doing, instead of whitelist, we still need to advertise, right? To get people, to give some promotion, to get people something, right? So what we're doing is we call Ruby Vape vouchers. In other words, it's like free mint vouchers. Instead of saying we're collaborating with projects, we're saying that we're doing a collaboration, we give you whitelist spots. We say that we're giving you 2 vouchers. And essentially, if you have a voucher, it's like NFT vouchers, like NFT, which when you go to our storefront, you will be able to burn it and get 1 NFT for free.
And that will be only on your website, not in Magic of Eden.
Yes. Because Magic Eden, as I said, I really don't like this. You have to sell out quickly, and we want to keep our own pace. We want to just we can maybe sell out like a couple hundred in a week, right? We can just sell a bit. We just want to have this collection as like kind of our merch, right? Our kind of stock of goods that we're always selling. As a company, as a brand, we always have something that we're selling, right? That we can get new people on boarded. So we don't really care about selling out fast and trying to pump up the price. We just want to kind of sell the story, try to get people to want to be part of our community. And we just don't care if we sell out fast or not. It just gives us less stress. We can just focus a lot. We can just always market a little bit. Hey, we still have those in store. Hey, would you like to join in? Hey, we have this new thing for Zen Encyclopedia, right? So we can just have go in our pace, and just mint out like this. And as I said, the vouchers, I feel like it's kind of a like innovative way of doing the marketing, since we already, like, when we, instead of doing the whitelist, right, we're already giving some people the vouchers, which they already have in their wallet, right, as an NFT. And then when we launch the collection, they can just go burn the token and get one of the NFTs for free. And the price is going to be like $10, something like that. But you just get one for free because you hold the voucher. So by even having the voucher, you are already kind of part of our community, because you know that it's going to turn into NFT and you're already trying to market it out, helping us out. So this is what we want to try to do, is just not focus on pumping and dumping, but just putting up our merch items, just buy them. We're going to do more utilities, add new things going forward. But we always want to have something for sale for new people who come in and see us.
Yeah. So this voucher, it'll be approximately $5 to $10, and the other voucher would be free. It's kind of like you buy one, you get one free. Does it work that way?
No, it's not like that. So voucher is kind of like 100% off discount voucher. So the NFT itself is not the NFT of this encyclopedia. It's just kind of the voucher, which when you go to our store, you log in with your wallet, right, to the store, and then the store notices that you have the voucher in your wallet. So it changes the price from zero for Solana to 0. And it's basically, you use it up, you burn the token to get one random encyclopedia for free.
Got it. That makes
just
sense.
Like you're getting a free mint voucher, 100% off.
Okay, that perfectly makes sense. And now, one question, which I probably should have asked before is, what was the decision, to go into Solana, let's say, as opposed to Ethereum or maybe Binance or or anything else?
I chose Solana. I think the main aspect, which I feel like everybody's choosing Solana over Ethereum for, is the gas fees, right? The gas fees are so little. I'm able to experiment so much by having the little gas fees. For example, in our Discord, right, when people join in, they can tie their Solana addresses. They just basically can go enter their Solana addresses in like one of the kind of, basically I'm building our own unique bot called Solar Panel. We have this unique bot, right? People can enter their Solana address and they have a role in the Discord. If your name becomes green and you're kind of the solar entity, you're a person, we know your wallet address. So what I can do then, I can do a slash command and say, I can do slash send some Solana to this guy. Just press enter, and I just instantly, without leaving Discord, I can just send money. I can send NFTs. I can send whatever vouchers. People can buy NFTs from the store, and it doesn't hurt my wallet at all, right? I just send 0.0001 on a transaction, so I can do freely introduce the kind of the economics inside the Discord without losing money on every transaction.
Excellent. And one question, which I was surfing through your website, that is Zen Fighters. One question which I was thinking while I was researching as well, how does, the fighting thing work? Because you have something called as fighting also on the website, right? Like, do they
Right,
have to?
right, right.
How does that work? Let's say from an average point of view.
Well, for Zen Fighters, right? The Zen Fighters was the project that we got the investors on board, right?
Oh, okay.
So it
The
was
previous one that you were talking about.
yeah. So they funded us. So we basically the goal was like to make this VR competitive sports game called Zen Fighters. And essentially with a fighter, if you have the NFT fighter, so this was the collection, the Rubians, right? With those NFTs, you were then be able to go to play that game, right? So essentially, the Zen Fighters game is competitive one-on-one. I've been developing this for like, I don't know, half a year or something. I really poured my heart into the game. It does work well. But the problem is that it's just ahead of time a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Because the niche market of NFTs combined with niche market of VR, and then additionally you have to be active, like you have to be physically playing the game. So you have like 5 people who can play your game, right? So
yeah,
it's a bit too early. Of course, it's gonna make a comeback. I still believe that the game is really worth it. They're worth playing. It's very interesting, very entertaining. It's just that it's a bit too early trying to make it work with NFTs. So I'll see. Maybe I'll just do some work, try to kind of release it without NFTs for a while, just so that it's just playable as a separate VR game, maybe with some utilities going forward. But the problem is that with a small team like that, when I worked on Zen Fighters, I really couldn't really do much of anything because making a VR multiplayer game 3D on your own, kind of alone, it is such a toll. I'm not able to then do Discord things. I'm not able to do any marketing. I'm not able to do anything. I'm just fully focused on making that game. So as cool as it can be, right? It doesn't really translate in monetary. So unless, as I said, like we got some investments, right? The funding, so we didn't really care about it. I just could spend some time working, researching, developing, right? Doing that thing. So
hopefully,
yeah. So and the game is essentially, I mean, it's so fun actually. So there are some rings of projectiles. So there are 2 players on the podiums. Projectiles going around it, right? Around yourself. In one hand you have a slingshot, and you can just pick up with your other hand. You can pick up projectiles, put them into the slingshot, stretch it like this, right? So physically, right? All with the hands, right? So just pick up slingshot. And when you release it, you try to hit opponent's rings. So behind you, there are 3 rings. Rings that you have to protect. So you have to hit the other person's rings. And with a free hand, if you're not holding a projectile, you can just do or like open up your hand like this, and it opens up a shield. When you turn your hand like this, opens up a shield. So you can kind of predict where your opponent is going to shoot, and you can try to kind of block their projectile. Like we protect your rings, right? So it's like, it has like lots of kind of prediction. You have to be accurate and fast with your slingshot. You have to predict opponents' moves. You have to kind of outsmart them. You have to time everything right. It's kind of like a strategic action-filled game. And I feel like it really has some potential, but it needs to come back a little bit later. So maybe it already have the demo, right? They have something playable. It might be easy to get some funding later on because it's not just an idea. It's something that actually works.
Absolutely. And, if there are any investors who are listening to this podcast, and what I'll tend to do is, I share it with a bunch of investors as well who are looking for projects like yours, I definitely would think that, they may find this project absolutely interesting. And one of the questions, which I wanted to ask when you were talking about, working with other people and right now, since you're working alone, on your website, I did actually see that, it mentioned tech lead, and you've given some really unique and nice name. That is, Darkness Pixie, and quite a lot of them more. Do you want to share some more information about that? Where did the idea of giving them name? Something unique and definitely something which I'm quite interested in.
Right. Well, thing is, we do have our own names, full names in the Zen Wiki. So we're building we have this Git book, right? Git book. We're building the Zen Wiki where all the information is about like different things, the different games that we're building or whatever else. So there we have all the full names and like the nickname, and in the brackets we have the full name. So it's not like we're just hiding ourselves. But the thing is,
I like the avatar name. I personally like that.
So the thing is, I feel like if we call ourselves with nicknames, right, it gives like this this vision that us as like kind of the people who have like our animated images, right, not our real faces. We have nicknames, so we're not like kind of real people. We're like fantasy leaders, right? We're kind of like these Zenpai, the high command. So it brings people into the lore, the fantasy world, right? So because it will be pretty weird, right? If you see like all the fantasy things, you can earn this, do this, and you can see like my face, like Thomas Tumosa.
I totally agree, yeah.
Right, so it's basically, it was kind of part of just trying to not break the immersion of the fantasy world, and us as a kind of team members, we're kind of like the Zenpai, the kind of the animated avatars, kind of doing the thing. So, but essentially this is our nicknames, and I feel like nicknames is what is even more important than names as you live in the network, in the internet world, in the metaverse world, right? Because anybody can be a Paul, anybody can be a Thomas, right? So it can be confusing, right? And if you have a full names, it's kind of boring and dull. So everybody right now has nickname, right? You go to Twitter, you go to Discord, everybody has their own nicknames. So I feel like nicknames is the new normal, our new names that we made up for ourselves.
Absolutely. Even if you look at Bitcoin, it's still Satoshi Nakamoto, a mysterious person. And the guy who bought, the NFT for $69 million, he had a nickname called Meta Coven, which no one knew who he was. And I personally think, having a nickname, and especially the one that you have chosen, is really interesting, especially to your project as well. I definitely agree. Do you have anything else that you'd like to share regarding, your projects that you're working on, let's say in NFTs or...
Yeah, right. I actually do have one more thing that I'm very, very passionate about doing. So it's kind of like, I really hope it's going to be easy to explain because I'm just kind of in the development phase. Just barely had some information in the Zen Wiki, but I would really like to kind of to pitch it to you, to explain to you what we're building. So
absolutely. Yeah.
So the thing is, do you know marble games? Do you know like these games like where marbles are falling and you're trying to see if your marble can win, right? The one that you chose, right? Just kind of like AFK, luck-based kind of marble game. So essentially, what we're doing right now in the same solar panel app, right? The WebGL app that I've talked about. There's this encyclopedia, right? We need to have more things in the WebGL app so that people would visit it here, right? To go to solar panel, why would you want to just go into the website, log in, just to see your collection every time, right? We need to have more content in here so people want to visit it often, maybe buy something from the shop with their tokens or whatever else. So one of the things that we're going to be adding here to the solar panel app is a game called Tairu Tower. Tairu Tower. It's kind of like influenced by Takeshi's Castle. Takeshi's Castle was a very popular show. It's kind of like influenced by that. I was really a big fan of that. Yeah. So essentially, it's a marble falling game, but I'm more passionate about making VR games, right? But this is kind of like a 2D marble falling game, which I really don't want to spend too much time on. But I feel like it's going to be a very great kind of marketing campaign. So let me tell you about what I want to achieve with this game. Yep. Essentially, in this marble game, right? When you want to log in, you can just go to Tower and see if you can join any game. So a person can host a game, right? And to host the game, it costs our local currency. You burn some currency, right? So essentially, if you have an NFT of ours, right, you kind of have you can basically host games for free, essentially, right? Because you're earning some tokens on the way. So things like that. So for hosting game, it costs you a little bit. And to join a game, you can just join a game and just join to the Tower instance, right? To the marble game. And then when you join in, you're at the top of the tower, at the top, the ceiling, right? The top level of the tower. And when people join in, their NFTs of a specialized type, they enter as the marbles. So to give you an example, right? For example, when I want to host a game, right? I can select from the drop down, I can select which NFTs should be parsed from the people's inventories. So for example, I can do Rubians, right? Our collection, right? So select Rubians are going to be the ones who are playing this instance of Tower. So when people log in, when they press join, all the Rubians that they have in their wallet, they turn into these marbles with the image of the Rubian and they fall down like getting ready for the match. So if you understand, so like we can have different collections. So we're now starting off with our own collections, right? The encyclopedia, Rubians and others, right? So that we give some utility to the holders, right? Some turning their NFTs that they have only in their wallet to an actual physics 2D ball, right? That kind of move around, right? Yep. So thing is, of course, like the game is basically like every level of the tower, right? When everybody joins in, all the NFTs join in. They're also tower guard. So it's our way of monetizing the game. So we can just spawn some bots. So for example, the rule is basically when you make a game, you have to always like enter the prize. For example, for now the prize is only going to be Solana. So when you host a game, you can say, okay, the price is going to be like 0.5 Solana or something. Or let's make it round. 1 Solana for the winners, right? Yep. And there's going to be, let's say, 3 winners, right? So and then you always have 12 guards among the players. So we're not kind of making any money from hosting the games, but we're saying that the tower guards is kind of like the nemesis, the bad guys. If the tower guards win, we're the ones who get the prize, right?
And that makes it interesting as well.
Exactly, you have some antagonists. Even if you lose, you still want other of your community members to win, so that the tower guard doesn't win, right?
Got it.
Yeah. So you have like the kind of the good guys and the bad guys dynamic, right? So so thing is, and also you can just, if you spend some Zenny, some our local currency, you can have less guards. So 12 guards is 0 currency. Then if you pay 10 currency, it's 11 guards. If you pay 25 currency, it's 10 guards. So you can just kind of decrease the chances of tower guards winning. And essentially, the levels, when all the marbles fall down, then the new level begins, and there's some sort of like obstacles, like automatically moving something, and the marbles are just falling to the green zone, trying to survive. And the last marble to fall, it gets eliminated, and the new level starts. You get to the next tower, the new generated level. Something's moving, something's happening, and you just try to fall down and try to pray to God that you're the one who's gonna win. So I will, of course, introduce some interactive elements called player challenges, where so that people wouldn't fall asleep. Like, they just can play the simulation, they can go leave, right, and they can do whatever. So I really want them to be engaged, to sit on their computers like this, right, to see if they win or not. So that some random, like every 10 levels or something like that, you get a player challenge where they maybe need to like press some dots in order or something, right? And who does it the slowest, they lose a life, right? They lose one of their NFTs or something. So that they have like some player challenges as well. So essentially, this is a very simple game. It's just kind of everything's falling. It's kind of like a glorified raffle, right? Instead of just doing a raffle, right, you can just join it with your NFTs. The more NFTs you have, the bigger chance you have of winning the prize, right? So what we can do with this is we can go to different communities and offer it as like entertainment utility. We say to the community, for example, what about like you want to make a raffle? You want to reward your community for something, right? Instead of doing a raffle, what about you just join this game and you have your community have their NFTs into these marbles? And what we can do is we can add to the drop-down list, right, what kind of the collection is going to be played, right? We can make a serious collaboration with the project. For example, like, I know, Stone Frogs, right, or whatever else. We can say, sure, we're going to get Stone Frogs in our game. So whenever somebody wants to host the game, they can choose that NFTs to be parts can be Stone Frogs, not necessarily our own. So we're turning this game into kind of like entertainment utility for other projects. So that any NFTs can be played with this game, and anybody can use it as a kind of like the raffle, right, of just making entertainment. So this is something that I really want to experiment with. Is just some new type of utility, right? Entertainment utility. I don't want to provide services. I think that's boring. So I really want to have like, we can come to the community and say, hey, it's hard to make engagement, right? It's hard to engage with the community, have them stay, have them entertained. So we're just coming here to you saying, hey, here, you can do just this 30 minutes long entertainment kind of with your community. You get together, you play this game, and you see whoever wins. So it's just something that we want to experiment on. And it actually does work already. We just need some things to make it a bit better, but it does work. And it's pretty cool. We did some tests with our community and they really enjoyed it.
I was just going to ask you, do you have like any visual thing for that, or are you planning that maybe in the next couple of months or maybe in the next couple of years? But show them.
What visual things?
The same thing that you mentioned, about the marbles turning into the NFT.
Well, actually, this game is already working, so it's just basically a matter of a couple of days.
A couple of days, okay.
Yeah, I've already done the Zen wiki. I added the text, and I'm also now gonna now add some GIFs, right? To just kind of show the visual proof of what the game is all about, to get it through people's brains, because we need to get the collabs going, right? So of course we need some visuals for people to understand what the game is all about. So this is all working. Visuals are here. Everything's working. It's just that we need to just kind of get the text going. Add a website. In the website, we'll add so this is something I'm going to be working on today and tomorrow. Just adding this tower into our website, adding the shop so people can just make a storefront so people can start buying these encyclopedia dates, or maybe see the time ticking when it's going to start. So now we're going to do it right now before going to Dubai. We're all going to do all the text information, marketing on the Twitter, and just making the website better, cleaner, with the updated information of what we have been developing up until now that I've been telling you about.
Yeah, and I must say, the way you're explaining it, I literally was having the real life experience. I was thinking myself, playing that game. So the way you're explaining it, is absolutely fantastic. One thing which I would like to commend you on, the way you explain it, it makes the user feel as though you're part playing that game. So, I'm definitely going to be excited to check this thing maybe in the next couple of days. Definitely looking forward to it. And I just have a few general questions, and this is something at a very basic level. At a general level, Thomas, Where do you think the industry is heading, and which industries do you think will be most largely affected, let's say, with NFT and metaverse and cryptocurrencies in general, based on your experience? Will it be healthcare? Will it be retail industries? Or what is that you?
Well, I feel like the first thing, the easiest thing for everybody to get behind the concept is essentially VIP tickets. This is what I have in mind. For example, it's very easy to have a person to create a wallet, and they don't even need to know about. They don't even need to get the cryptocurrency. They don't even need to learn about minting. What you can do is you can say that you make a wallet, you give me like some physical cash, $20 or something, and I'm just gonna send you from my wallet already minted NFT to your wallet. It's a very easy concept, right? You just create a wallet and you're getting, you understand the concept of your public address, that somebody can send your address something, right? And you just kind of create a wallet and you get an NFT. That's it. You're already have some NFT with which you can enter somewhere. So what I'm thinking, what's gonna really kind of, I feel like gonna be the first things to become widely popular is co-workings. Co-workings, like entering different places. For example, like like people can co-work. They have like these cards, or maybe different offices, right? To enter the office, you need to have like this card that you need to kind of beep beep and enter. I feel like the same is gonna happen with your phone. You just have an NFT, you press it down, and you don't need different cards. You have different NFTs for different entrances that you have, and you can just use them widely. You don't need to have like different cards for different entrance. So I feel this is just something very easy to do, and maybe I don't even think this is gonna be something that people are gonna need to. How do I say it? It's not something that people are gonna need to even buy. It's just gonna be something that, for example, you can be, for example, paying in real cash. But if you just want to start working this co-working, right? Then when you have like this kind of introduction, when people are telling you about where's the toilet, where is the kitchen, here is your card. So instead of the part of here is your card, it's going to be, we're using the NFTs, right? You have to right now make a wallet right now. We're going to send you an NFT. It's going to be free, right? Because you just like a card. You don't have to pay for the card, right? So it's going to be something that's going to be very, very easily added, right? So that you can go like to different place in the different city. There can be the same co-working, so you can use the same NFT to enter. So I feel like this is going to be the easiest thing to understand and get people enrolled into this. And from there, what's going to happen is going to turn into tickets, attendance tickets, proof of attendance is already happening, right? You can go to some place and you can just scan the QR code and you're attended this event, right? You have like the thing. So I think this is going to turn into, instead from the here is that you have attended, this is going to be something that is going to turn to, you need to buy the NFT to attend. So you would go to the entrance, you show the NFT, or maybe you scan it, right? And then you enter. And it's going to have like the value after the event. Like when you go to like different conferences, you have the accreditations, right? And you just like to keep them, right? That you've attended, you wear them, right? So this is what's going to happen with the NFT tickets, right? When you use them, you enter, you have them still. It's not burned, it's not ripped out, right? You have it as your ticket. So after the event, what can happen? There can be platforms, for example, NFT event platforms. Somebody is doing, let's say, some IT conference, right, for professionals of IT, and they can say, hey, we want to reach some audience who are IT savvy, right, who will know about NFTs or about something like that, right? So what they can do is they can say, if you have an NFT of 2022 this event, or you can have an NFT from this, you can have a free entrance, or maybe you can have a discount if you've been to one of these events, and it's gonna be very justified. You have it in your wallet, right? So even after the event, you still have value of being somewhere. So now you can be invited to some other event, which is of this kind of the similar audience.
Absolutely.
So I think this is something that can be very easily integrated. And when you kind of start these things of introducing in a very simple ways to the life, then all the healthcares, different things that it can just go from here. But we still need to bring it to the place where it's kind of the most how do you say, the most outdated, right? The cards are outdated. The tickets, you print out the tickets and you come in with the QR code, that's outdated, right? So it's just something that people can get behind in a very easy way, right? Instead of just, everything is on the phone. Different cards, different things. So I think this is something that's going to become the first.
So this is kind of would be like a proof of attendance kind of a thing in a way, right?
Exactly. If VIPs are belonging in some community, getting like have VIP tickets, some kind of platinum card, right? And attendance to some events. I think this is kind of first things that can have this global effect of people understanding the concept and getting behind it. And then we can turn to something that, hey, what about you get some Solana yourself, maybe you go to the minting side and we'll get whitelist for something, and then you can enroll them to this part, right? But they first need to have a wallet, and they need to have a first NFT, so that they feel like, oh, this is very empty. My NFT list is very empty. I need to have more, right? Because you have one, it's not like zero, you already have something, but I need more.
And one question which I have, and this is a kind of like a bizarre question. Where do you think the NFT and the cryptocurrency world will be, let's say, a decade or 2 decades from now? Do you think it would replace the current economy, or will it be on par with the current economy, or maybe higher or lower than that? What do you think?
Yes, definitely. I feel like people are starting to see right now, it's kind of like this movement of minimalism, right? Having as little items as possible. So if you want to move from place to place, you don't need to drag all these things with you, right? It's just a drag. It's just having things accumulates and it drags you down and it makes you constrained, right? It removes your freedom. So what I'm thinking with these with NFTs, they're gonna change the way we kind of gather things or something. So for example, what can be, let's say we all in 10, 20 years, we're definitely all gonna be living with AR glasses, right?
Absolutely,
AR glasses, right? So instead of just having physical paintings, you can have the NFTs in your inventory. You can just place on your wall, and that's it. You have an NFT painting on your wall. You don't need to have physical things that you have to put up, nail in, right? You have everything on your wall. For example, you want a TV, have an empty space on your wall. You just open up the TV, size to the way the size you like, whatever. You want to play, let's say you want to play some piano or whatever, some instrument. You just, with the AR, you just drop down this piano that you have as an NFT too, right? Right? Because you're just proofable that you're the only one who owns it. You put it down, you can just play some music, you can produce some music on the air, right? So I think NFTs can just replace the physical things and just make our lives kind of easier. And we're not using the scarce materials of our planet for things that were made of just, you buy one, we make them especially be outdated in a couple of years, so you buy more and you just make a lot of waste just because you want to make money. So I feel like we can achieve the same thing of releasing every NFT a couple of years, without actually wasting the resources of our planet and then destroying it in the process. So I feel like this is where it's gonna go, to like virtual things.
Absolutely. And one thing which I really like you mentioned about the augmented reality glasses, because I was talking to my niece and we were just discussing, she's only 13 years old, and we were just discussing, will mobile phones will be there maybe a decade from now? And I was like, no, most likely mobile phones will disappear and will be replaced by augmented reality glasses as well.
Because still the phones are still kind of like, we already are seeing them as like part of our self, right? It's just like, it's let's say you have a third hand, which you can lose, for example. You can put it somewhere and you forget where it is. And it's just at such a distance, it's just part of you, but if you lose it, you feel like you're empty. If you go somewhere without a phone, you feel like you're just stupid. You have nothing about you, you're just some ape, right? So you have to have your phone. So and the phone is just a stupid thing where you just have to go, if you want to check it, you have to go do the motion of, absolutely. You have to do so many different steps to be with yourself. It's part of you, but you still have this disconnect, right? You have to do some additional steps to be part of it. And with the AR glasses, you never have to do it. You just kind of say,
absolutely,
press some things, and that's it. You are it's near than ever. And of course, the glasses are going to turn into maybe bionic eyeballs. The young people are going to change both of their eyes to be cool, and old people are going to just change one because they still want to be fully physical. And one is not it's not a problem. And then when you want to do some IT things, you close the one eye and just.
Absolutely, you're definitely correct. And I have 2 questions, and the next question is nothing to do with NFT, cryptocurrency, or blockchain. It's more about Thomas. What music genre do you like?
What music genre?
Yeah.
Well, I actually make music. I'm a producer. I also produce music. I sing and I produce music. Yeah. I know X Factor. Lithuanian X Factor. I placed 3rd place in X Factor, Lithuanian X Factor.
I was going to say that, because I saw a couple of YouTube videos as well, and I was that is.
Yeah, it's been quite a while. It's been like 7 years now. I was 18. I was still in high school when I did it, but it was a fun experience. And since then, like just when I was a child, I was really into singing, doing the entertainment and whatever else. So, and right after kind of X Factor, I really started thinking, starting to be more serious about making music. And I just didn't want. I really hated the fact that in X Factor I only had to sing the covers, and I felt like I'm fake, right? I'm singing somebody else's songs.
This doesn't fit right here.
Exactly. I feel like I have something to say, I have something to sing, something to do. So I just started kind of making a song. So it's not like my professional career, but it's just something that I feel the urge. I want to maybe take a break from my work. So as a vacation, instead of going to some Malibu and drinking the cocktails, my vacation is basically being able to just sit here, take a doobie, and then just make a song and just chillax like this.
Absolutely, and I play drums. I play drums for an extreme death metal band, and what I think is, that helps as a work-life balance. Doing these things definitely helps you get back into creativity and productivity as well. And one final question is, Thomas.
I'm sorry. So I didn't actually answer the question. So
the genre,
the genre that I like, the music that I make is kind of like trap, hip hop trap, something like this.
Okay.
Yeah, hip hop trap. But when I listen to music, for example, when I'm working, I can't really listen to hip hop trap. It seems like what I'm doing is coding. I need to be really focused, so I cannot really listen to music which has lyrics in it. It really As I want to sing it myself, I feel like I get the rhythms, I get the music. I know what's gonna go after it, right? I know what the song is gonna be. Also, I lose my focus, so I can only listen to music which doesn't have lyrics and just some chill something. So what I usually listen to is like some lo-fi jazz, future funk. Some Japanese, really like Japanese kind of Japanese music from the 80s or something like.
Any favorite artists or something that you have?
Not really. Not really. My favorite artist is Kanye West, of course. My total favorite artist. I listen to his albums, whatever. He's just a genius. I really love him. He's just a mad person, and I really have mad respect for him. Yeah, but I usually just kind of put up some playlists, and I just see what fits my current mood and what doesn't.
Absolutely excellent. And I was just saying that one of my friends, he attended Kanye West's live show, and it was absolutely insane. I mean, absolutely unbelievable. His performance.
The man has he. Do you remember when he was doing the kind of these listenings of his new album, where he just came to the stadium? He just rented the stadium to record his album. Came in the middle of the stadium, dressed in red, and he was just kind of humming, not even singing. He was just doing chilling, and hundreds of thousands of people just in the stadium looking at what he's doing, and he feels like he's a god. He's bigger than the stadium. He's the small man in the middle of the stadium, but everybody sees him as this big, huge man, right? With big brain, big charisma, and whatever else. So he's truly an inspiration.
Absolutely, he's an absolute genius. And in UK, there's this new genre called as grime, which is
yeah. I like grime. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Absolutely. Yes.
It's kind of ridiculous, with his British accent. It just feels like it always feels like a parody, right? But I mean, I can get behind it. It's kind of similar to this trap hip hop. It's kind of the offspring of that. So I still kind of understand and get it. But the British accent makes it feel like it's ridiculous,
Yeah, absolutely. And one final question is, Thomas,
Wait, 1 second.
Yeah, sure.
You know what you really remind me of? The P. I'm gonna send you.
Is it some?
Please wait. You definitely need to look this up.
Is it like an artist, musician?
Unknown P. Do you know Unknown P?
No, I'm going to check.
Oh, you have to definitely check him out, man.
Is he like a criminal or something?
No, he's actually. Well, I'm gonna look. I'm just gonna send you his link in the chat. Maybe there's chat, or it has to be chat. There is.
Yeah.
So you
just know about Unknown P. Yeah, I just looked at Unknown P. Hip hop rap, right?
Fire in the booth. Essentially, he's just kind of he's rapping in British posh language. So he's trying to be smart about it, making very smart and witty lyrics, and he's just kind of this posh man doing the rap. So he looks like you. He's speaks to that's some similar vibe to. I think you can understand and get behind his concept.
Yeah, and his name is Munya Chavava, I think so as well. So
I don't know, but I only know the Unknown P. That's all I know.
Excellent. And one question which I wanted to ask is, where can listeners get in touch with you and get more information about you and your project?
Well, I'm active. I haven't been active this past week in Twitter because of the in real life events, but I'm always tweeting, doing things. So I'm Tomukas1, THOMUKAS, Tomukas1. I'm here on Twitter. I'm always also on Instagram with the same name, so I can just write it out.
So what I'll do is in the show notes below, I'll mention all of these details as well. Okay, Thomas. Okay.
Right. So yeah, Tomukas1. So I'm posting something on Instagram, tweeting on Twitter, but essentially I'm always on Discord. I'm doing the announcements, being there with the community. So if you join discord.gg/Zen Republic, you can join our community. I will always be there. You can say hi to me, tag me Tomukas1 in the community. I'll always answer, and we can just.
And the Discord channel, I believe, is mentioned on the website as well, right? Because I did see a link.
The Discord is all over our website because this is the place we want people to gather in. It's kind of the funnel, right? You go
Absolutely.
from the Twitter, you see the post, you go to the website, you see what the website is about, and you're then funneled into Discord. So it's just kind of something like that.
So what I'll do is in the show notes below, I'll mention, your Instagram, your Twitter, your Discord channel. And thank you so very much. Is there anything else that you'd like to tell our listeners, especially from Dubai? Do you want to meet any particular person or shout out?
Right. So shout out to all Dubai people. Oh, by the way, I was born in Dubai, so you can treat me as a fellow.
Oh, excellent.
As a fellow. Yeah, I was born in Dubai. I lived here. I lived in Dubai for my first 3 months of my existence. And then my mother had to come back to Lithuania. So she was working there for a couple of years. And it just so happened that I was born here. I got my first vaccine in Dubai as a baby, and I was sent off back to Lithuania. So I'm coming back to see the roots, to talk to my fellow Dubaians.
That is absolutely brilliant.
I'll be attending like these NFT art meetups. It's gonna be like on Thursday, if I'm not mistaken, on 29th. Yes, I'll be on arts. I'll just look for different NFT events. We can just, you write me, we can just meet up. We can talk about VRs, NFTs. I'll be in events, in meetups, and whatever else. I'll make use of my days, definitely.
Absolutely. And what I'll do is, once I'll connect you to the other people. So thank you so much, Thomas, for doing this. Really appreciate it.
What a pleasure, man. You're such a professional. It's really fun podcast. Really happy to be part of it. And when it's kind of live, wherever, send the link to me. I'll retweet it on Twitter. I'll share with my community. Maybe somebody of our community is going to be interested in hearing what I have to say. And maybe they're going to start following your podcast.
Thanks so much for doing this podcast, Thomas. Really appreciate it. Have a nice night.
Yeah, have a nice day.